Hi guys, welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome to the channel. I am Nicole. Libra, it has been a little bit since I've gotten a message out for you guys. And the last one was the North and South Node information for you, Aries, Scorpio, and Taurus. It's been a little while. I apologize. I've had a lot of personal things going on. I'm hoping to have a schedule before long of when these videos are going to be posted on the regular. So that is the goal, the work in progress. So thank you for hanging out and staying tuned in to the channel. And again, new subscribers, welcome to the channel as well. Libra, this is going to be your August video. This will be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus cross watcher. If that is you, welcome to the channel as well. And you guys always make sure that you're discerning the messages appropriately. I have had some comments saying they didn't resonate and that kind of thing. Remember guys, I'm reading collectively, as is every other reader on YouTube. And it's a collective message. So sometimes it may resonate, other times it may not. And, I highly encourage you all to check especially your rising sign right now, but check those other placements all together, okay? It gives you a full picture of everything that's happening for you. So that's that. I am back to doing personal readings as well. That information can be found in the description box below, as well as the about section of the page. And you can also check me out at holisticallyzenwv.com for a full products and service listing there. So, and read a little bit about my business. It's so awesome. I love what I do. Okay, Libra, quick meditation before I got started for you guys. What I heard from Spirit was sometimes we just have to admit defeat. And I think that, and if I remember right from that North and South node for you guys, it talked about the ego, I believe, right? And so with that, that to me is a reminder that we as humans think that we have been defeated somehow because our ego says we have been, right? But instead, it's not so much that. It's Spirit's trying to show us a new way, a new path, a new way of going, a new way of being. It's going to be where you sit and how you feel about the resistance, if you're sitting in resistance of the changes that are trying to take place for you. So just be mindful. Be mindful of that is what I took from that message from Spirit. We're going to start off with the sacred geometry deck, and then we'll go from there and see what all is going on in the month of August. So I hope you guys are doing well and fantastic as always. And let's just see, Libra, right? Let's see what's going on for you guys. So Spirit for the collective sign of Libra for the month of August. The sacral infertility. A new way is trying to be born, new desires. And I also think for you, Libra, there may be some insight personally for you that you're aware of, that maybe things feel off. There's a new way of doing things, but it's like moving out of that old pattern, those old behaviors, those old habits, so that you can move into this transformative energy that's going to take you full force forward. There we go, spit it out. So that you can do what it is that you need to do to open up new opportunities, new abundance for yourself. So let's see what's going on. All right, for Libra, we'll take it, the crown chakra, 20, discernment, right? I say discern everything. So Libra, with that, this crown chakra, as we know, most of us I think know, sits, top of the crown. That is our connection to the divine, to Spirit, to our guides, to our ancestors, to all of those things that are so important in the messages that we receive. Make sure, this to me is telling me for you, that you're discerning what your voice is saying and what Spirit's voice is saying through you or to you. And that, I'm going to go back to that ego. That ego still sticks with me for you guys right now because this is a learning curve for you, Libra, as well as Aries. And I'll say that you're going to have to discern where your ego is stepping in on your behalf, thinking that it's protecting you, as opposed to the actual messages that you are getting from Spirit, so that you can make heads and tails of what direction you're going, where it is that you're heading. That 7, that crown chakra energy, the frequency of the crown chakra, the violet flower of life, supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. And I kind of get this feeling, and it's funny, I did a reading today, and our ego is like two parts of us, is how I see it anyhow. This is how I correlate it in my mind. Our ego is like the devil, kind of, in a way, and then we've got like that angel sense on the other shoulder, and it's always kind of like a back and forth game between, is your ego responding or is your higher self responding? And again, I feel that's the need. We're bouncing back and forth between the dark and the light of a situation. For all of you, the situation's probably going to be very different. So again, discern those messages accordingly. With this discernment, I'm going to read this card to you as well. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. And I think what you're being called to do now, Libra, I think the scales are starting to balance, and I've seen that Justice card come out for many of the signs, and not just my readings, but other readers' readings as well. That just because it doesn't work out the way that you think that it should, that you've been defeated. Your situations are always going to be about your perception of how you're choosing to view them. And that's going to be a very important aspect for you yourself to dive into and discern if that's really the case or not for you. So, the kitty is in the room. So, if you hear bells jingling, that's him. He's feeling pretty good about himself tonight. So, all right, Libra, let's see what else is going on. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm not talking real loud. It's a little late at night, but wanted to get these last two signs out, you and Leo. So, all right, Spirit, for the sign of Libra for August, what does Libra need to know? What does Libra need to know? Honesty. It's time to get... So, Libra, I think for some of you guys, part of this is reminding you of the truth of a matter. It's the reminder, and it is honesty. It is igniting flames. Spirit is saying flames that were self-created. I'm going to say for some of you, you may have been dealing with, the consequences, 654 on the clock, consequences of the decisions that you've made in the past. You know, and I'm not saying that, you know, there's obviously the good karma, the bad karma, that kind of thing. I'm not trying to whoop you. But there's always going to be consequences to our actions and the decisions that we make. And I kind of feel like that's what you're dealing with here. Libra is addressing, you know, if you want to call it the karma of particular situations or circumstances that surround you currently as well. So let's see, for Libra, please, Spirit. For Libra, what does Libra need to know? The fledgling. The book has a very different definition for this card as to what I take from it. To me, this is your own ass whooping, to put it bluntly. There's a fire that burns within her, and it's like she's walking around dead. You see the way she looks, right? It's like there's something within her that wants to ignite. There's something within her that wants to propel forward. There's something within her that wants to grow. And I'm going to equate this to the heart energy. You take a look at this wrist. This is the left wrist. The left side works to our heart, right? And there's 3 dots in that. And that 3 dots is learning how to work with other people. This may be a struggle or a challenge for you, Libra, or this could be somebody you're dealing with. Learning how to deal with those people in a more compassionate sense. You may have come across very detached from certain aspects of your life. And now it's like that detachment has caused and created some type of egoic death, or is beginning to. And with that, to tame that ego is to come from a space of love and compassion, not just for other people, but also of yourself. Excuse me. I quit smoking, so I'm still, you know, doing all that good stuff. The body is cleansing. So excuse me for that. But this is about learning how to find that loving space within for you and for other people as well. So for Libra, Spirit, does Libra need to know? They threw us 2, so we're going to take the 2. Deceit, second time, and oath. I feel like for some of you in the High Priestess of Earth, that obviously the need to ground, right? 111 could very well be important to you, Libra, and then this 49, which breaks down to a 4 as well. I'm going back to the fact of like it's a good versus evil kind of thing. You know, I hate to put it in those terms, but it's pretty black and white. But I feel like there's a need. Spirit is saying for you to break out of your shell, to break out of this idea that it has to be all or nothing. our world, we have to learn how to alchemize that all or nothing, right? We need to find the compromise in the situation. And I feel like you may have made some promise or vow to yourself on whatever level that you would not maybe repeat a family cycle. You wouldn't allow certain things to be in your world, whatever this may be for you. But to me, this is like, if this transpires, whatever the situation is, or a consequence of action transpires, then you feel that you've failed yourself. You have failed whatever it was that you were setting out to do in this lifetime. You're being rerouted. This isn't a failure. It's self-sabotage. So now it's time to learn and address that from a different space so that you can get out of that, so that you can move forward in a more healthy and a more positive direction. Very, very important message there for you, Libra. Okay. And then I pick up the deck, right? There it is again. If there's been lies, if there's been illusions, Spirit is saying contractual agreements. What needs to be made fair, just, and balanced is going to occur one way or another. And it may be something that's completely out of your control. With this Oath card too, this is about foundations. This is about the need to celebrate any little win that you have. It's not just all or nothing. Stepping back from that all or nothing. It's anything that is a positive. It's going to be how you're going to portray it in your life, your perception of it, and what it is that you do with it from that point forward. But this could be somebody else also coming in, and there can be a lot of anger and tension tied to this, that you feel that whatever rule has been created is one that is not balanced or not fair for you. And again, you may be dealing with somebody else that this could be cross-watching, right? I kind of feel like it's a mix of energies. Libra, I will say, I feel like it's more for you than it is anybody else. But this is also feeling like you were cheated somehow, feeling like you were neglected or abandoned somehow. Some of you could be dealing with abandonment issues. So let's see, Spirit for Libra for August, please. Goddess of the Moon, door to Spirit. I'm telling you guys, Spirit is really working through you. And, you may even say that Spirit's using you in a sense to make you see, to show you a different way around situations that maybe you weren't aware existed for you. We're always forever learning lessons. So don't take it as something bad. Take it as they're showing you exactly what you need to know. But it's our human brain, that same card, Goddess of the Moon comes out. It's our conditioning to just see it only our way, right? So anything outside of what we desire or want, then we get let down by those expectations. All tied up, and I talked about the contract, right? There it is. The contract card comes out in the reverse. Wanting to break ties. I feel like you feel like you're restricted to something, and attachment sits on the bottom. Your happiness to you feels like it's being restricted, pulled back, taken away. Your freedom. Spirit is speaking of your freedom of choice is also what they're giving me as well. So let's go ahead and clarify and see. I feel like you're very much feeling like you're in a stuck position. But this stuck energy, whatever this consequence, I'll go back to the idea of consequence, what this is asking you for change. It's you make those movements, or Spirit is going to step in on your behalf. The universe is going to step in on your behalf and create those tower moments that are going to cause those changes for you, because you're not veering to where you need to go. And for some of you too, and this isn't going to be for everybody, there's a gut knowing with that internal fire within her. There is a gut knowing that the way that it's been done no longer works. It's an outdated tradition or value to how you've seen it working in the past. So now it's like trying to get comfortable with something that's extremely uncomfortable because we're just not familiar with it, right? So you could be trying to break out of contracts, break yourself free from certain situations that you feel are, I'm going to say, financially robbing you as well. That there's going to have to be some equal reciprocity there. With this Goddess of the Moon, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. What else for Libra, please, Spirit? Clarify. The Wheel of Fortune. Spirit's calling you to heal, and we have the Four of Swords. Spirit is trying to help you understand that there are certain aspects of yourself, Libra, that you have worked on. You have planted those seeds of growth there to some extent. I will say this to you though. It feels to me as if it is external, but those external situations is what you're banking on to create this Ten of Cups energy. You've got to take that and turn it inward to what you are able to fill your own cup with, because it will be the Wheel of Fortune. It's karmic events. I can't speak tonight. I'm so sorry. Karmic events, but it's also taking you to a place of healing. It's taking you to a place of the self with that 7. 2023 is the 7, right? This time around, it's about ourselves. It's about healing. I've been saying it all year long to everybody. I feel like a broken record. I'm going to play it on repeat. But it's asking you to change the way that you've been living. It's like, you can call it a come to Jesus moment if you want to. That's fine. But it's asking you to understand that there's more emotionality in those cups. And that's what you are, Libra. You're a sign of Venus, you and Taurus, in that love and that energy of the comforts of home, right? But you're seeking for this external, whether you want to call it validation or fulfillment, that lives within you. And these karmic events are playing out, and it's creating a pause. It's creating a pause of time of genuine healing for you moving forward. And in this, what they're showing me is that makes you feel extremely stuck because there's no action. There's no action forward. So it's like, if I don't have this movement forward the way that I think that it should be happening, then I'm stuck. Okay? So let's... Some of you could be dealing with maternal issues. This could be your own mother. This could be a mother of a child, as she appears to be pregnant in this card. The Page of Cups. If you're looking, I'm going to tell you, Libra, if you're looking for sincerity from this other person, if you're looking for some kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Spirit gave it to me and then took it away. If you're looking for some type of reconciliation, I'll put it that way, that this person or this situation, that you want to make peace with this. I think that there's peace to be made in this situation. But to you, it feels like a burden. To have to acknowledge or acquiesce to something is, it's not how you viewed it to be. It's outside of the realms of what your expectations were tied to a situation. If the ego was expecting somebody else to bow down to whatever this is, I think you've met your match kind of energy with a particular person or situation. And that is creating this feeling that you've lost the upper hand somehow. That is burdensome if you've been sitting on a high horse, and I'm not saying that to be mean. 1818 on the timer, by the way, so 99. Both energies are running independently here. So it's like the playing field between you and whomever this might be is starting to balance out, and that feels very heavy. So you think about it like this. We'll use this as an example, right? Oil and gas work, if you're familiar in the East Coast, right? Or anywhere, really. There was always high periods when the oil and gas was going really well, and they would make tons of money and everything was just fantastic, right? And they might do this for 2 or 3 years, and then, elections change or something changes in our economics, and then we see those dip back down, right? So then they're not making the money that they once were. There's the ebb and flow. There's the highs and the lows. There's got to be that equal balance, that yin and yang energy that comes in and says, this is going to balance out the highs and the lows. And this is kind of what this feels like for me. So if you were riding a high for a long time on forward movement and giddy up and go, all of a sudden it feels like that's stopped somehow. And Spirit's saying that you're taking it personally. Don't take it personally. This isn't personal. It's not a personal attack. This is simply the balancing of the scales, Libra. Don't be so hard on yourself either. We get very caught up in guilt and shaming ourselves for the decisions that we make, that we didn't do the best, or we have to sugarcoat it somehow, or whatever it might be. But the reality to that is also this. it's only a negative thing if you're not learning anything from that experience. So if you're learning something from this experience and moving forward, you know that you're not going to repeat certain behaviors or certain patterns or certain words or whatever it might be. You're stopping that self-sabotage moving forward, and you get to do it differently the next time around. That's how it changes. Okay? So you get to create new karma, new balances. It's all going to check out, right? So what is this contract, Spirit? What is this contract? Something is absolutely coming to an end. We've got the Eight of Cups here. Page of Cups in the reverse. This situation, and then we've got the Five of Wands. This situation is calling for you to have an absolute new perspective separate of the ego, most certainly. It's calling for compassion. It's calling for you to root down into something that I don't know that for some of you that you think you even have anymore. But it's kind of like throwing your hands up in the air and going, let the chips fall where they lie. So it's like you may appear on the outside to the rest of the world around you as you are okay with the decisions or these situations or these contractual endings that are happening for you at this time. But internally, there's an egotistical attachment to that, Libra, that is asking for you to release at 21-21-33. It's asking for you to play nice with others again. That it's like somebody else's turn to ride is how this feels to me. I feel like this is a very tough message for somebody. And I'm so sorry in a way, but I'm not, because this is Spirit's asking you to step it up. Spirit is asking you to take that different perspective and approach, you know, to move forward, to get out of that stuckness that you feel. But it's the ego that's stopping you from making that forward movement. It's almost like you're walking around with blinders on, Spirit said. Just not taking something for what it actually is. It's if you are dealing with like a third party in a situation, and you really genuinely, wholeheartedly try to find resolution with a situation, it may not be the way you pictured it. Again, the need to let go of that expectation. I have a hard time with those words tonight. But when you let go of that, you're going to gain a newfound freedom that's going to release this attachment. Because behind it, it's a blossoming abundance. It's a time of healing, of rest and rejuvenation for you. I think for some of you too, you also took on bigger situations, I think, than you thought that they were at the time. So now it's like, okay, these situations, these people, whatever this is, snowballed over a given period. And now it's like almost biting off more than you can chew. And there's a need to ground yourself back down in that energy so that you can make your way through that and transition through that. Okay, and I am going to clarify the Chariot, forward movement. You let go of that attachment to what you think your happiness looks like, and it's going to take you into utter happiness, those fours. But you have to be willing to take that risk. You have to be willing to be the fool and take that leap. Do not get careless because you're anxietizing yourself over a situation. When you think about it, someone who is not in a clear mental space can't make clear decisions, right? So if you're erratically responding to situations around you and you're just going balls to the wall, to be blunt, you're derailing your own happiness. You're derailing a celebration. It's almost like I'm hearing, just give what's mine back. So there could be some arguing with this Five of Wands too, surrounding this, some tension, some conflict around a particular situation in your life that you may be being forced to let go of it. You may not have a choice or a say anymore. And at that point, the Spirit's asking you to surrender. And when you surrender, as difficult as for humans as it is to release that attachment and surrender to this forward momentum, you're either going to have to get on board and take that forward momentum and just trust that the universe has you, that Spirit has you, your angels have you, and they're going to guide you down the right path. But you have to be willing to release and step into that, okay? So, Libra, hard message tonight, and I'm sorry that it is, but I don't like delivering the tough messages, but that's part of this, right? I mean, that's what we come here. We come here to grow and to learn. So I won't sugarcoat it for you, but it's time to really deal with that ego and understand how it's holding you back by not letting go of certain things. Okay, for Libra, advice, please, Spirit. Spirit is orchestrating for you the strength and the courage to... Spirit is saying man up and fortitude, to give you the fortitude, man or woman, it doesn't matter, right? Masculine, feminine energy, it does not matter. But it's like finding a resolve within you that will propel you forward in a better way. And they're there. They're lighting the way, Libra. They are lighting the way for you. What is the advice for Libra, please, Spirit? Roots of abundance, endless possibilities. When this shift takes place for you, this change, this closing out, it does create an ending. That ending of a contract or situation, it's putting pause, it's putting completion on it, it's done, it's over with. It does create new unification in your world. At that point, you've got this endless possibilities that you get to decide, free will choice, how you're going to do the next phase of life. And that's going to be a very important thing, how you're doing it moving forward, because from this conflict, from these epiphanies, from these moments of dealing with the ego, you're gaining a lot of wisdom about situations in your life that are going to open you up. And you may not see it right now that this is for the better, but down the road you will. Give it 3 months and you look back and you're going to be like, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. And I think for some of you, though, you're going to be you may think to yourself, this isn't as bad as I thought it was, but I'm not going to tell anybody that. I'll be damned if I'm going to acknowledge that I was wrong, or I didn't see how this was going to play out to my benefit in the long run. But you get to open yourself up to new opportunities as a result of that, though, too. And it's, again, going to be about your perception and how you take things moving forward. So, Libra, I hope that something in this video resonated for you. I hope you guys are doing well. If you found this video did resonate, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. I appreciate each and every single one of you. If you're interested in a personal reading and want to dive into your personal stuff on a deeper level, again, that information is in the description box below, as well as the About section of the page, and you can find me at holisticallyzenwv.com. So, Libra, I'm wishing you all the very best in August. I hope to get videos out to you guys very, very soon. Hopefully, I'll have a schedule soon, and I can post that on the channel as well, and we'll be more prepared moving forward, right? I'm sending you all my love. Take care. Bye-bye.